Hi there, welcome to Radiant Art Inspirations, where you get easy, fun, and fast face paint tutorials and some miscellaneous videos as well. One question that I've been asked a lot is what my idea board looks like. So I'm gonna share that with you and all of the step-by-steps that are involved in creating a easy and honestly a pretty fun idea board. It's actually not easy at all. That's fine. Let's get started.
These are the supplies we're going to be using today.
So here is how my idea board looks. I am using a sandwich board. It's about 3 feet tall, weighing about 15 pounds. And what's really fantastic about this board in particular is that it's perfect for all weather. If it's windy, rainy, sunny, whatever, it's fantastic. Also, you're able to open it, making it very sturdy. I love this. If you noticed on my board, I have the actual Mike Tyson on here, and this is a huge attention grabber for my older audience, for those older clients, because they're like, oh my gosh, Mike Tyson, you should get Mike Tyson, ha ha ha, what a joke. And while I have printed other pictures of where I painted a Mike Tyson, this one of his actual face actually does a lot better. So if you're doing a venue that has both children and adults, it is a design that I recommend just for those types of giggles. And a lot of the times when someone is doing a dare or a bet, that's usually the design that they pick for the loser. So that is pretty fun, and you can find quite a few Mike Tyson pictures on Google. Each picture is about half the size of a regular sheet of paper, 8x10. So if you do want to get these exact dimensions, literally just half a sheet of paper. And then I laminate it with the old laminator that I have at home. It's a lot cheaper than getting it laminated at like one of those office stores. The tape I use on the back is double-sided Gorilla tape, and this one is particularly used for when you're doing things outside or material that is outside. So this tape will last you practically for a year if you don't take it off. The reason to why I use tape instead of maybe using Velcro is because I like being flexible with the designs that I provide on the board depending on the venue or even the holiday. So I like changing it up when I can, and using tape versus maybe using something more permanent, I just don't have that confidence in myself to have it strict on for the rest of my life. On the corners, I have a round Velcro, and then on the other Velcro side, I have the price. So this way, I'm also able to be flexible with the prices that I provide, because my prices do change from venue to venue if I'm doing a pay-per-face event. So such as for festivals, they're going to be a different price maybe compared to a smaller event like a farmer's market. A question that might come to mind is, well, if they're Velcro, can someone just remove the prices? And that is possible. It's never happened to me, but what I do before every single event is I actually take a picture of my board. So if that were to happen, I would say, well, that simply isn't the case because I have a picture on my phone for it. But for the most part, people don't really touch the board, so it is totally fine. However, I do place a do not touch sign throughout my board. Here is a close-up picture of how that looks. And while some people can't read, like some children can't read, I did decide to pick this photo of someone getting electrocuted to show that don't touch it. Also, you will see payments that we accept, such as cash and then digital and card. And then also on the board, we also have the option of we accept face paint requests. This is totally up to you. Because you're working with a blank slate, you're able to be as creative as you want. Do you want to add signs to the bottom like I did here, gems and glitter? Do you want to add more fun stuff or even bigger designs on your board? You absolutely can. And that's why I personally love using a sandwich board like this one versus using something that's permanent, that's printed, and you have it for the rest of your life. And I like to As my work progresses, I like to change it up, but also how my company has evolved in the last 3 or 4 years. I want my display to change with that. If you did want to end up changing out a photo that you didn't like, or maybe you want to change it for the season, this double-sided tape is pretty easy to come off and it doesn't ruin the board. The board is also super easy to clean for maybe those kind of dirty events from time to time. But that's a big reason to why I love that this double-sided Gorilla Tape is that it sticks on beautifully, but it's not that difficult to remove. Because this board is about 3 feet tall and you're adding a lot of fun colors depending on what designs you want to put, it's very attractive to people that are walking down an aisle. For example, if you're doing a festival type of event, people can see what you're providing and they come over and they're like, oh my gosh, a face painter or a henna artist or an airbrush artist, whatever you want to use this for. Because this is pretty big, it's pretty big advertising, it does attract those people. Now, it is kind of an expensive startup, right? This board in 2022 costs about $100-ish, give or take. And then you have to buy a laminator if you don't already have one, along with a paper cutter to get those perfect straight lines versus using scissors. If you want to create your own displays of payment or things like this one or anything else, one website that I do recommend that is very artist friendly and honestly very simplistic is canva.com. There is a free version and there is a paid version. Between you and me, I would recommend the paid version because you're able to get really fantastic templates and then work from there. It's a lot easier to work with Canva than maybe starting from scratch on Photoshop. And this is firsthand knowledge. Like, I learned that the hard way. So if you love these types of styles, Canva has them. And I will place the link in the description box below for that website.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty details of how to do this whole laminating thing. So the first step, the most crucial step, is first you're going to cut your pictures before you put it in the laminator. You can't just put a whole sheet of paper in the laminator and then pray that the cutting is going to be amazing, because it won't. Okay, I learned that one the hard way. So after you've cut your 2 photos, you laminated them together with that gap in the middle, you're going to use a paper cutter to finish cutting up your laminated beautiful design, and make sure to have a little bit of plastic just on the outer edge of this picture so that no water can get in. Then with one of those Velcro circles and some super glue, put a generous amount of glue and you're going to stick it onto any top corner that you prefer, because that's where you're going to start sticking your prices to. And it's looking pretty good. Then you're going to add Velcro on the other side of your number piece, and you're going to stick it on, and voila, you can always change it up. Now we are using this double-sided Gorilla Tape. I love this tape. I've used a bunch of other ones. This one has stuck to the board the best and it lasts the longest. Remember, it's double-sided, so you got plastic on both sides. And you're going to add a piece of tape to every single corner because these pictures are going to be practically permanent on your idea board.
Hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you're not going to do all of the steps, maybe it'll help you with just a few ideas to inspire you to create your own idea board. This again is the one that I use for pay-per-face events. When I am doing a kind of birthday party or a private event, I would either say, I can paint whatever you like, or if it's a lot of people in attendance, sometimes I will print out just a regular sheet of paper, either with words or with photos, to give people an idea of what I can paint. So it kind of just depends on the venue that you're at, and I wouldn't bring this really big 3-foot board to a private event. There's no need for that. This board is for pay-per-face events such as festivals and things of that nature. I want to say thank you so much for watching it through, and I would like to mention that we do have an Instagram that has a lot of our step-by-steps of our face paint tutorials, and we also have a TikTok that tells true stories of what it's like being a face painter. I will see all of you next time. Bye bye!